Hello, guys. Welcome back once again to this YouTube channel. There is something that wrong with some of our activists that we have in this country. I can boldly tell you for free. You know, before the election period, or probably before any election, they will be active everywhere. Criticizing the government, even leading protests across the nation. Look at somebody like Deji and Sowore. They are part of the people that even led the NLC, Nigeria Labour Congress protest that happened a few days ago. Now today, Soyinka have actually come out to say divide Nigeria, divide this country, divide this country. I can boldly tell you for free. Remember, this Wole Soyinka was, he has been an activist for a while. People were even loving the way he was criticizing Buhari's government. Now, prior to 2023, when it was time for election, the youth came out and rallied around a particular candidate that was credible, that has competence, that has compassion. A candidate that came out and told you that if you find any corruption case or any corruption against on him, that he's going to drop his presidential ambition. That if you think that he has ever committed any crime or atrocity knowingly, or probably if his name is being found in the EFCC book or anything, that he's going to drop his presidential ambition. A man whose record speaks for himself. And people were expecting that Wole Soyinka, after all these years of criticizing Buhari, after 8 years of criticizing Buhari, that he will rally around P2B and help to, support him and make people to actually vote in a competent person, so that we will not enter this, pass through the same rhetorics of having bad and deceitful leaders like we've had in the previous years and all that. But it was quite unfortunate that a man that people looked up to support a credible candidate like P2B, turned against him and turned even against obedience. No matter P2B went several times to visit him and to tell him the plan that he has for Nigeria. Not like he wasn't convincing, but when you see a man that always wants to be at the top of the matter, you would actually know. A lot of people were so disappointed with Professor Wole Soyinka, and he immediately turned against P2B and obedience, calling P2B fascist, calling obedience fascist, insulting Dati Ahmed, who is a P2B's running mate, and all that. And people were wondering, what does this particular man want? Now, this particular man stated clearly and came out openly and said he is supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He visited Tinubu several times and said he knew he has been friendly with Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a long time. But he knew, as a matter of fact, that Tinubu was the national leader of APC throughout 8 years of Buhari's failure. And if Tinubu had the solutions to the problem we were facing in this country, of course, he could have proffered some to former President Muhammadu Buhari, but because he had nothing, he has no single solution. Rather, he just wants to be like Buhari, a ceremonial president that will actually use aids and proxies to rule the country. And that was why our nation's treasury was looted dry, because Buhari doesn't even have first-hand knowledge of anything. So his aides and some of the people he appointed used the opportunity to loot the nation. Billions of naira. Look at Hadi Siriga, who officiated the Nigerian Air. That was a scam, that borrowed an airline from Ethiopia and repented it and said it was Nigerian Air. And Buhari believed, because Buhari does not have the first-hand knowledge of anything. Look at the Umar Sari of humanitarian affairs. Look at how much she embezzled under the nose of Muhammad Buhari, and and Buhari did not notice. So these are the same crop of leaders, and people expected Wole Soyinka to actually have a different opinion. But no, he decided to stick with the archaic opinion, and decided to come against P2B and obedience. Now today, he's the one that is actually clamoring for division in the country. He's saying, let me read out what he said. How do you actually understand that we are not blind, or probably we're not cooking up stories here? Now this is what Wole Soyinka said recently today, and it is quite shocking. A lot of people, we are shocked that this is coming out from Wole Soyinka's position. Now, look at what he said. He said something, as you can see on the screen. And let me bring it to you guys notice, so that you would read clearly, in clear times, what this particular man actually said. He said, if decentralizing Nigeria will guarantee 3 square meals, let nations die so humanity can live. Now, in proper context, let me read out what he actually meant by if decentralizing of a nation. They said, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka on Thursday said Nigerians should break up if that will solve the age-long socio-economic problems, majorly poverty and insecurity facing the citizens. They said Soyinka stated this during his speech at the 50th anniversary of Punch newspapers in Lagos State, monitored by Sahara reporters, adding that the only way to rescue Nigeria from their plight was to implement decentralization by drafting a new protocol in which all regions will be allowed to decide whether to join or live through their representatives without resorting to war. He is actually advocating and clamoring now for what? For division. Probably he has seen that the man he voted for, being the man he supported, being Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has failed woefully, even within 8 months or 6 or 9 months of his so-called tenure. Now, so he went further to say, he added that most Nigerian leaders were aware of the fact we're aware of the fact, but they chose not to do the needful because of lack of political will and commitment. He said, what do you mean by restructuring? Well, I don't even like the word restructuring. I prefer expressions like reconfiguration and decentralization. Everybody can grasp that decentralization, and those who lead recognize the necessity of it. They recognize the importance, almost the inevitability of it until they get in power. Yes, that's the difference. They said it's about time I think leaders stopped taking this nation for a ride. We must decentralize. We must decentralize. Security, has become a burden to bear from all corners of the nation. That is the crime. Decentralize so that government can come closer to the people and productivity can really be manifested as a product of citizens, not simply as a manna from heaven. That is the attitude obtained at the moment. He said, I know the fear. The fear is collapse, breakup. That's been the excuse given by several regimes. But suppose the nation is breaking up informally, in other words, as a fact rather than as a theory, then you better just address this. Come straight on and see exactly what happened. What is wrong with general representatives? See them and say this is the protocol of our association. Anything outside of it, anyone who does not want to accept this protocol, abide by these protocols, and manifest these protocols in the act should take a walk. I have no problems at all. And this is what Wole Soyinka said. That if decentralizing mean breakup will actually, bring peace, bring the economic and socio-economic peace and stability of having a country, let the nations go. Remember, a lot of people have been clamoring for what? Secession and division because of what? The way Nigeria have treated them, the way Nigeria has marginalized them, the way Nigeria has actually, turned the whole economic situation upside down. Now, Wole Soyinka have actually come out to lend his voice with the same thing Nnamdi Kanu and his son, the Igboho of the Yoruba nation, are actually saying. When people saw what this Wole Soyinka said, people started commenting. You could see this person said, "Wow, finally we go for referendum." This other person said, "This prof is subtly telling Tinubu that he has failed. Let's just restructure this geographical entity. He can no longer wait for 2 years to rate his preferred candidate and favorite brother as he earlier promised." This other person said the grey-headed professor must have run out of funds from AP received from APC. A lot of people are criticizing him because he supposedly supported the All Progressive Congress political party. This other person said, even our ancestors knows that for Nigeria to work, it needs to return to regional government. Let there be competition among the regions. Stop rushing to Abuja for appointment. This other person, APC campaign payment don't finish. He's back to his old senses now. Now people are saying that what Wole Soyinka is saying is right. That for Nigeria to work, it needs to be restructured to regional government. Let people go back to their regions and handle that. This whole centralized government is actually causing a lot of chaos and problem in the country. You can imagine Wole Soyinka just a few months ago, Tinubu's government saying that if secession and breakup will solve the problem in Nigeria, we should just break away and go away. Well, I would like you to drop your comments and tell me what you think about this shocking news and the shocking statement that was made by Wole Soyinka.